Our lead story on 8 o'clock tonight. Well, it's Arvind Kejriwal's roadshow. He's hit the ground running just a day after his release, after he got interim bail from the Supreme Court. He's been campaigning all day today. He began with the Hanuman Mandir Darshan at 11 a.m. this morning, after which he's been on the road. He's been campaigning in Mehrauli, which is of course part of the South Delhi Assembly seat, the South Delhi constituency. Now remember, it's a high stakes battle this time in Delhi, 7 seats going to polls. It's not really a cakewalk for the BJP this time, and with Arvind Kejriwal's release, can he really boost the India bloc's prospects, not just in Delhi but across India, because he will be campaigning across India, remember. That is really the big question and the big focus now. So the campaign for Delhi is really heating up with Arvind Kejriwal's release. Aishwarya Jain is now joining us live. So Aishwarya, Arvind Kejriwal has been campaigning all day today, his roadshow there in Mehrauli as well. What are his plans going further now? He's called for a crucial meeting tomorrow here in Delhi.
Well, certainly Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is out on interim bail, and he has of course hit the road as far as the campaigning is concerned for Aam Aadmi Party. Today morning he first visited Hanuman Temple and took blessings of Lord Hanuman. Spoke to the media, stated that it is the blessings of Lord Hanuman and the blessings of crores of people that he is out on bail and in front of each and every voter out there. He started he straight away went to Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, where he launched massive attacks on the Bharatiya Janata Party and top leadership, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. In fact, he went on to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party that who is their Prime Minister candidate, because it is, according to him, Bharatiya Janata Party who had made the rule that only that no one will be given any positions after the age of 75, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is completing 75 years of age this September. A big political war of words began soon after Arvind Kejriwal's allegations. In fact, Home Minister Amit Shah replied to Arvind Kejriwal, stating that there is no such thing that is written, and no such BJP constitution which states that nobody can take any office as far as the age of 75 years is concerned, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will complete the entire tenure. On the other side, soon after leaving from Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, he straight away went to South Delhi and did a huge mega roadshow along with Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann in support of the Aam Aadmi Party candidate. In South Delhi. From there, he is heading directly to Krishna Nagar in East Delhi. So several of the road shows, remember, he's out on interim bail, a very short period that he can be out and be with the public. Of course, the leverage have been given by the Supreme Court that he can campaign for his party. But Bharatiya Janata Party, remember, was fast enough to counter Arvind Kejriwal, saying that don't forget, he is still on interim bail. He has to surrender by June 2nd. And he is still the main accused of the alleged Delhi liquor policy case. The investigation is currently underway, and he has to first answer about whether the water, whether the electricity and all those promises that Arvind Kejriwal had earlier promised to the people of Delhi, whether that has been fulfilled, or on what moral grounds he is asking for votes, as he is still the prime accused. So yes, of course, okay, Arvind Kejriwal's presence, whether that will create an impact on the voters of the national capital or not, is something that remains to be seen. But people on ground clearly very happy as far as the Aam Aadmi Party supporters are concerned. They were very happy seeing Arvind Kejriwal back on the field, back on the roads and campaigning for the Aam Aadmi Party.
So certainly the cadre has been enthused. That perhaps was the main motive of Arvind Kejriwal's release, and of course Arvind Kejriwal sort of pushing for bail as well in election season. But what is going to be the Aam Aadmi Party's strategy? How are they planning to leverage Arvind Kejriwal's release as far as the campaign is concerned? He will be campaigning across the country, and also interesting statements made by Arvind Kejriwal today. You know, this new flashpoint that has been opened with the Prime Minister's age. Of course, he also took on the BJP, saying the Prime Minister will remove Yogi Adityanath. So what is the Aam Aadmi Party's campaign strategy now? Because there will be a significant shift in what has so far been a bit of a subdued campaign, at least by Delhi standards.
Well, Vedant, when we saw the campaigning of Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal's mega roadshow, they were all around the posters of Arvind Kejriwal. Still, he was seen behind the bars. And remember, the campaign Aam Aadmi Party launched, Jail Ka Jawab Vote Se, that's hitting on the minds of people and the Aam Aadmi Party supporters on ground as well when we spoke to them. But it was interestingly Arvind Kejriwal who mentioned from Aam Aadmi Party headquarters today morning that in the last 50 days he was thinking what to say after he will be in front of the people. And that's the first attack that he mounted on directly Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that his age 75 years is just finishing and he would be 75 years in this September. So who would be the Prime Minister after that? It was BJP themselves who was saying that after 75 years no one can take an official post in the NDA government. And certainly it was from Murli Manohar Joshi to L.K. Advani to senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party who were sidelined by Narendra Modi. And it is the Bharatiya Janata Party who had to answer that who would be the Prime Minister face after Narendra Modi, whether it would be Amit Shah, and whether it would be Amit Shah who would be fulfilling the guarantees that Narendra Modi is promising to the people of this country, to which, of course, the answers were given. Rebuttal had come from the Bharatiya Janata Party, from Amit Shah to Rajnath Singh. All had replied to Arvind Kejriwal stating that it is the promise that they are doing from the people of this country that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will complete his third tenure if the NDA government will come into the power of this country. So clearly, interesting war of words on the very first day when Arvind Kejriwal is out on the roads campaigning for the Aam Aadmi Party on interim bail.
Aishwarya, thanks very much for joining us with that updates there. So game on, certainly. The capital showdown getting more interesting. But of course, Arvind Kejriwal opened a new flashpoint, opened a new front against the BJP when he said that the Prime Minister is turning 75 next year. Who will be the next candidate for the BJP, the next Prime Ministerial candidate for the BJP? Well, the BJP was quick to hit back. Amit Shah says that the Prime Minister will not only finish and win this term, but he will continue to be the BJP's PM candidate. Listen in.
ये लोग इंडिया गठबंधन से पूछते हैं आपका प्रधानमंत्री कौन होगा। मैं बीजेपी से पूछता हूं आपका प्रधानमंत्री कौन होगा। आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे केजरीवाल क्या बात कर रहा है, मोदी जी होंगे। नहीं, मोदी जी अगले साल 17 सितंबर को 75 साल के हो रहे हैं। बीजेपी के अंदर मोदी जी ने 2014 में मोदी जी ने खुद ने रूल बनाया था कि बीजेपी के अंदर जो भी 75 साल का होगा उसको रिटायर कर दिया जाएगा। अगर इनकी सरकार बनी तो पहले अगले 2 महीने में योगी जी को निपटाएंगे ये, और उसके बाद मोदी जी के सबसे खास अमित शाह को ये प्रधानमंत्री बनाएंगे।
मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड कंपनी और पूरे इंडिया अलायंस को कहना चाहता हूं, मोदी जी 75 साल के हो जाए, इससे आपको आनंदित होने की जरूरत नहीं है। ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के संविधान में कहीं नहीं लिखा है। मोदी जी ही ये टर्म पूरी करेंगे और मोदी जी ही आगे देश का नेतृत्व करते रहेंगे। इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं है, ये कंफ्यूजन खड़ा करना चाहिए।
So this is certainly going to dominate the poll discourse going forward. But moving to some more news now, well, the Press Club of India has written to the Election Commission of India saying that journalists are dismayed at the poll panel not holding a single press conference even after the completion of voting in 3 phases across the nation. The letter says it should be noted that at press conferences, the journalists get their doubts and confusions, if any, cleared, which helps them report and write error-free copies for their readers. They keep the citizens accurately informed and updated on the ongoing election. Now, the Press Club of India also said that absolute number of votes polled and final percentage of voting should be released by the next day of polling. Such transparency is necessary to uphold the voters' confidence in the electoral system. Meanwhile, Mallikarjun Kharge has replied to the Election Commission of India's letter after the poll body expressed serious concern about his recent statement, raising concerns and questions about the fairness of the voting process and questioning the delay and the jump in the final voter turnout numbers. Mallikarjun Kharge wrote that it was surprising how the commission responded to his open letter while ignoring other complaints. He wrote, it is surprising that the Election Commission of India wanted to respond to this letter while ignoring several other complaints given directly to it. He wrote that the lack of urgency shown by the Commission in taking action against blatantly communal and caste statements being made by the leaders of the BJP is, playing with the electoral process. And moving now to the fresh flashpoint between the West Bengal Chief Minister and the Governor, C.V. Ananda Bose. Mamata Banerjee upped the ante against the Governor, saying that it's a sin to sit beside the Governor after molestation charges against him. In fact, she went on to say that she will not go to the Raj Bhavan after the incident. Remember, a Raj Bhavan employee actually levelled harassment charges against the Governor. Though, of course, the Governor, being in a constitutional post, has some impunity to investigation. And the Governor says this is a political conspiracy and this is a bid to target the Governor's crusade against corruption. Take a look.
মাননীয় রাজ্যপাল, আমার কি দোষ আপনি বলুন? আমি তো জানিই না ঘটনা পুরো। বলছে দিদিগিরি नहीं चलेगा। আমি বলি वो तो सच है, दादागिरी नहीं चलेगा, दीदीगिरी नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन राज्यपाल पहले आपको तो पदत्याग करना चाहिए। Who are you to torture the women?
Now, the Chief Minister's comment asking him to quit his post is, of course, in the backdrop of what the Governor earlier said, that this is something that has happened to stop him from, continuing to fight corruption and violence. And he called it an engineered narrative and mischievous allegations. And that is something that the Chief Minister also responded to, saying that the Governor should resign. It's a sin to sit with the Governor, is what she said after this incident. And she said that she will not go to the Raj Bhavan to meet the Governor, and if there's any requirement for the government to meet the Governor, or as she as the Chief Minister and Head of Government to meet the Governor, she would prefer to do it on the streets rather than go to the Raj Bhavan, is what she said. And this is therefore now a major row between Raj Bhavan and state government. Relations completely seem to have broken down between Raj Bhavan and state government, and the Chief Minister attacking the Raj Bhavan and the Governor over the allegations of molestation that have been made against him by a female temporary staffer of the Raj Bhavan who has complained to the Hare Street police station against the Governor.
And moving now to our big exclusive, Anurag Thakur has been campaigning extensively in Himachal Pradesh, and he spoke exclusively to NDTV, saying that he is confident of a win in Hamirpur. In fact, he hit out at the Congress as well, saying that the Grand Old Party is struggling to get even 40 seats, while the BJP is confident about its 400 par pitch. Take a look.
Union Minister Anurag Thakur is with us since morning. We have been travelling along with him. So, sir, what are your feedback on this response? We have seen the people of Hamirpur, they have already come on the roads. So, what message you have got from it?
मुझे लगता है मुझे कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं, लोगों का जोश, उत्साह, उमंग ये दिखाता है कि कमर कसली है। घर घर जाने की, 1 तारीख को कमल का बटन दबाने की, 5वीं बार अनुराग ठाकुर को सांसद और मोदी जी की हैट्रिक लगा के सरकार बनाने की।
So the people, when we interacted with a lot of people, they were saying for the last 4 times you have worked a lot for the development project. Can you put a light on the development project which you have brought in here for the convenience of the people?
If you look at 10 years before, we didn't have much bigger projects. Today we have All India Institute of Medical Sciences, worth rupees 1700 crore rupees. We have medical college in Hamirpur and 300-bedded hospital, worth rupees 300 crore rupees. We have the extension center of PGI, worth rupees 500 crore rupees in Una. Apart than that, we have the mother and child hospitals being installed and established, and the dialysis center in all the districts. Apart than that, we have the 2 medical colleges, Central University, Triple IT, NIT, Technical University, Career Point University, and also the Hydro Engineering College. Apart than 6 Kendriya Vidyalayas have been opened and 6 are in the pipeline. We have built thousands of crore rupees worth roads and a railway line from Una to Daulatpur Chowk, which I promised and fulfilled that. And many trains we have started from Una to various parts of the country.
Sir, what we have learned, one medical ambulance, that is also for the people convenience. How it is work and how you got this idea?
सांसद मोबाइल स्वास्थ्य सेवा मेरा एक प्रयास था, जन जन का कल्याण करने के लिए और उनका उपचार करने के लिए और मुफ्त में दवाइयाँ देने के लिए. तो हमने प्रयास किया. अब 30 गाड़ियाँ चलती हैं, 10 लाख लोगों का मुफ्त में जांच उपचार अब तक हुआ है, दवाइयाँ मुफ्त में मिली है. इसी तरह से 12,000 बच्चों को मुफ्त में शिक्षा मिलती है. 7,000 से ज़्यादा महिलाओं को प्रशिक्षण हुनर से शिखर तक पहुंचाने के लिए, अपनी आमदनी बढ़ाने के लिए दिया गया है. 1 लाख से ज़्यादा युवा सांसद खेल महाकुंभ में जुड़े हैं. ये वो प्रोग्राम है जो सरकार के बाहर के हैं, इसलिए जनता से सीधा जुड़ाव भी है और जनता का मुझसे लगाव भी है.
Sir, you have a wide experience. So what is about the country situation? How do you see the political situation in the country? Because you have been traveling from one state to another state for campaigning also.
I think country needs stability and continuity, and for that they need Prime Minister Modi government. Because globally Modi is the most popular leader and one of the most senior leaders. The way he has brought our economy from the 10th to the 5th largest economy, from the fragile 5 to the first 5, and also a lot of credit to give a corruption-free government. His government is known for good governance and development, and that is what I see in the country. My choice Modi, my choice Modi. That is the sound I hear in every nook and corner of.
Sir, my last question is to Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal has got a bail. So how do you see this development here? Do you think any impact on the politics?
That's a conditional bail. Nothing to be happy about. And he has to surrender on 2nd of June and he'll be sent back to the jail. Before that, he's been allowed to campaign, but with the caution that he can't go to his secretariat, CM office, he can't look at the files, he can't meet people concerned with the liquor scam. So, and he can't make a statement about the liquor scam also. So I think there's a lot of condition which has been put in place. Nothing to feel good about. Sonia Gandhi ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, Chidambaram ji and Lalu Prasad Yadav ji are also on bail but are also facing the corruption charges. So भ्रष्टाचार के मुकदमे चल रहे हैं. अंतरिम राहत राहुल गांधी जी, सोनिया गांधी जी, चिदम्बरम जी और लालू जी को भी है. उसी श्रेणी में केजरीवाल जी भी हैं. 2 तारीख को सरेंडर करना पड़ेगा, फिर जेल जाना पड़ेगा.
So how do you see the Congress also, sir? Congress, where do you see Congress? So well, we can see this is
कांग्रेस संघर्ष कर रही है 40 पार करने का और भाजपा 400 पार करके मोदी सरकार बनाएगी.
So well, this is the union minister who has already made it very clear the way he has done a lot of work for his constituency. This will definitely bring a lot of full results in the after the elections also, and he's quite confident. He says it seems the way the Congress has been fighting for just trying to establish in all over the country. With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Gurpreet Singh China for NDTV, Hamirpur, Himachal Pradesh.
So a confident Anurag Thakur there, though of course there was a big jolt to the Thakurs in Himachal Pradesh and Hamirpur in the assembly elections. But moving now to some more news, a huge rush of devotees around the hilly approach to Uttarakhand's Yamunotri, a part of the Char Dham Yatra along the Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. Of course, it led to a massive crowd build-up on the small hillside path. Many people were seen standing in long queues for hours a day after the doors of the Yamunotri temple in the Garhwal Himalaya region were actually open for devotees. Now, Gangotri Dham, along with Kedarnath and Yamunotri Dham, reopened after the remaining closed during the winter season. Kishore Rawat is joining us live now. So, Kishore, what you are reporting is that काफ़ी ज़्यादा रश के बाद वहाँ पर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पहुँचा, पर ये साल दर साल हम सिमिलर विजुअल्स देखते हैं, इसी तरीके के विजुअल्स. पिछले साल भी जब भी चार धाम यात्रा होती है तो इस पर्टिकुलर नैरो हिल साइड जो है वहाँ पर बहुत रश देखने को मिलता है. तो कुछ चेंजेस हुए हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव तौर पर, वहाँ पर किस तरीके से क्राउड मैनेजमेंट हो रहा है इस वक्त?
बिल्कुल, ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या है, खासकर चारों धामों में और ऋषिकेश और हरिद्वार में जब भी वीकेंड होता है उस समय बहुत बड़ी समस्या है ट्रैफिक की समस्या। दूसरी तरफ यमुनोत्री के जो तस्वीरें सामने आई हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं गाड़ियों का ट्रैफिक के अलावा वो इंसानों का ट्रैफिक है, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ी तादाद में वहाँ पे लोग चले गए हैं। सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि एक पर्टिकुलर संख्या नहीं रखी गई है कि कितने लोग पहाड़ों पर जाएंगे, यानी चार धाम में जाएंगे, क्योंकि काफ़ी हाई एल्टीट्यूड में है। अब ऐसे में ये तस्वीरें, जाहिर सी बात है, अगर बेहिसाब लोग वहाँ जाएंगे तो इस तरीके की तस्वीरें देखने को मिलेंगी और ऐसे में बड़ी दुर्घटना होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि वहाँ पे जब इस तरीके से क्राउड आ जाता है, उसी रोड पर जो डांडी कंडी वाले उनको चलना है, खच्चर वालों को चलना है, आम लोगों को भी चलना है जो यात्री आ रखे हैं, तो ऐसे में जगह कम है पहाड़ों पर और इस तरीके से जो भीड़ आती है काफ़ी डरावने वाली होती है। अब ऐसे में जैसी ये तस्वीरें जब चली उसके बाद प्रशासन ने इसमें हरकत करी और एक सिस्टम लागू कर दिया है कि जैसे जो गाड़ियाँ यमुनोत्री की तरफ जाएंगी जब तक वो वापस नहीं आएंगी, एक पर्टिकुलर उन्होंने जगह रखी है यमुनोत्री के पास, वहाँ से तब तक लोगों को नहीं जाने दिएगा। यमुनोत्री का सिस्टम ये है कि यमुनोत्री में 5 किलोमीटर पैदल चलना होता है, इसी तरीके से केदारनाथ में 21 किलोमीटर पैदल चलना होता है। गंगोत्री और केदारनाथ की अगर बात करें तो वहाँ पर इतना ज़्यादा पैदल नहीं चलना पड़ता, थोड़ा सा चलना पड़ता है। तो ऐसे में ये तस्वीरें जाहिर सी बात है डरावने वाली है, लेकिन अब प्रशासन इन तस्वीरों के चलने के जब लगातार एनडीटीवी ने चलाया उसके बाद ये जागे हैं, तो जाहिर सी बात है इनको पहले सबक लेना चाहिए था। फिलहाल अभी क्राउड मैनेजमेंट के लिए सभी जिलाधिकारियों को बोला गया है कि क्राउड मैनेजमेंट करें और इस तरीके की जो तस्वीरें ना आए और लोगों को एक चीज़ सिस्टम से दर्शन करवाएं और वापस उनको बुलाएं।
जी किशोर, बहुत शुक्रिया तमाम जानकारी के लिए। So as Kishore is reporting, it was after this video actually went viral that the administration actually woke up and sent its team on the spot there. Of course, as Kishore is saying, massive crowds there at the Yamunotri. Moving now to the campaign in Ladakh. In fact, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has been campaigning in Ladakh, and he said that it's only the Modi government that can actually effectively tackle the issues confronting Ladakh. Remember, there were huge protests in Ladakh with people demanding their rights and certain special provisions also as far as the administrative understanding of Ladakh is concerned. But listen to what Kiran Rijiju had to say.
कुछ भी समस्या लद्दाख में है उसका हल मोदी सरकार ही करेगा। यहाँ अभी जैसे कि और भी कैंडिडेट्स है, मान लो कांग्रेस ने भी कैंडिडेट दिया है और इंडिपेंडेंट ने भी एक कैंडिडेट, एक कंबाइन, मैंने सुना है करगिल से एक कंबाइन करके दे रहे हैं, लेकिन वो जीत के भी कुछ कर नहीं पाएगा, क्योंकि एक एमपी का रोल क्या होता है, वो पार्लियामेंट में पार्टिसिपेशन करता है, डिबेट डिस्कशन में, काम तो सरकार को करना होता है। इसलिए लद्दाख के अंदर में जो भी डिमांड है मैंने पूरा पढ़ा है, डिमांड के बारे में भी मैंने चर्चा भी की है और सारा जो डिमांड है उसको कैसे हल करना है उसको भी हमने सोचा है और आगे चुनाव के बाद इसको आगे ले जाएंगे।
Moving now to External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's strong remarks against Canada and Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as well. Well, S. Jaishankar hit out at Justin Trudeau, saying that Canada is actually fanning separatism and extremism in the garb of freedom of speech. This after there were several anti-India slogans and statements that were made at an event that was actually addressed by Justin Trudeau himself. India has maintained that there's a zero tolerance policy when it comes to extremism and anti-India sentiments. Take a look.
What we have seen, to our regret, has been the direction of Canadian politics where separatist, extremist forces, many of whom openly advocate violence, have been given political space in that country. And there are people in positions of prominence today in Canadian politics who actually espouse that kind of separatism and extremism. Whenever we have taken it up with the Canadians, and it's not a new issue, it's been going on almost for 10 years now, they keep saying, oh, we have freedom of speech.
In international news now, massive protests in the Mirpur district of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir over unjust taxes and the arrest of dozens of activists. The protest was actually planned for today over the Pakistan-imposed taxes and rising prices. But the deployment of additional forces and arrests of 70 activists angered people, and they took to the streets on Friday itself. And with that, we'll take a short break, but stay tuned because on the other side, we'll get you all the ground reports and analysis as we head to the fourth round of voting in the Lok Sabha polls.